Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. I'm Ansi Juice and today we are going to discuss Evening Landscape by the River, a poem by Jayanta Mahapatra. So let's take a look at the poet Jayanta Mahapatra. He was born in 1928 at Cuttack, and this Cuttack was near Bhubaneswar, and it is the capital of Odisha. Fine. And this place, Cuttack, is, both Mahapatra and his poems are closely identified with this place. And it continues to be a lingering experience in most of his works. And he belonged to a small but distinct Christian community of Cuttack. And it's surprising that he entered into the literary career, or he started writing uh, you know somewhat late in his life, around 38 or around 40. And by the time, majority of writers would have reached the zenith of their career. Okay, and still he wrote a number of books in prose and poetry, and he was even awarded the Sahitya Akademi Award in 1981. And he is the first Indian English poet to receive Sahitya Akademi Award for English poetry, and he received the award for his long poem Relationship. And the government of India honored him with the Padma Shri in 2009 for his outstanding contribution to literature. And he is a physicist. That is, he received his master's in physics from Patna University, and he worked in various colleges in Orissa. And he is a bilingual poet and essayist. And he was born and brought up in Orissa, though, and it was naturally expected that he would write in his mother tongue Oriya, right? But he did not. And he explains that I'm in love with English. See, he felt that he can express himself better in English than Oriya. And he is also an essayist. And Mahapatra's poetry reflects a deep awareness of the Indian background. That is, it had the Indianness. Okay, the Indian spirit. We could find that in his writings. It faithfully describes, or his writings faithfully describe, the local landscape or his relationship with his land. See, as I have said earlier, there is a constant presence of Orissa, that is his land, in his writings. And see, he is sincerely concerned with his landscape or history, tradition, myth, and his culture. Okay, and his poetry is generally bleak and interrogative in tone, the style of writing. Okay, and Mahapatra is often referred to as the melancholic modern day dervish. And now about his work. His first collection of poetry was Close the Sky 10 by 10, which was published in 1971. Okay, another one was also published in the same year. It was Close the Sky 10 by 10 was closely followed by Swayamvarad and other poems, and these two were promising collections. Okay, and then in 1976 he published another two collections, A Father's House and A Reign of Rights. Waiting published in 1979, The False Start published in 1980, Life Science published in 1983, Selected Poems 1987, Burden of Waves and Fruit 1988, Temple 1989, and The Whiteness of Bone published in 1992 are some of his other works. And Relationship, we have mentioned this earlier. This was published in 1980, and it is his long poem, and for which he received the Sahitya Akademi Award. And he edited a journal of creative writing called titled Chandrabhaga from 1979 to 1985, and he was the founding editor of Kavya Bharati. Now let's read the poem Evening Landscape by the River. This is a kind of sadness which closes the eyes. Here, the memory of faces of the dead never appears. Fishermen's broken shacks by the river let even starlight slip out from their weak roofs. A temple stands frail and still in the distance as though lost in reverie. In a hut, a 6 month old child awakes and crawls across the tongue washed floor, not asking where he goes. It is evening, there is light laughter, and the abandoned darkness of water, over which an uncertain light of the moon lies like a familiar but useless ornament. So we have read the poem, and now let's see. This poem is taken from the collection Live Signs, and Live Signs was published in 1983. Okay, and this poem is a well constructed, typical mood poem, and it has 14 lines and is divided into three stanzas. Okay, and as the title, see, evening landscape by the river. Okay, so from that we can understand that the poet is describing the scenes that he had seen by the river. Okay, and describing those sights, and what the poet sees induces an intense state of sadness. Okay, and even the readers can feel it while we read the poem. And the spoon depicts a scene by the river in Orissa, and the poet surveys the scenes and feels sad. Okay, so we'll analyze the poem line by line in the next video. So, write a short note on Jayanta Mahapatra, his writing style and major works as your assignment. Thank you so much.